So, um, I wanted to make this video because um, recently I have actually a couple minutes ago I have a run-in with um, a toxic person, and I would like to share how to get rid of toxic people in your life and how to not let them ruin your life. So, um, this is again going to be I'm going to make videos like this, trying to help others, um, give my experience. Um, and this is not about YouTube, it's not about anything else. But I have, as everyone has seen, I have dealt with toxic people. Um, and, and on YouTube, as I said in my stream about um, people that want to um, self-deprecate themselves, and be like, it's everyone else's fault, not mine. Um, I have dealt with both on and off the internet toxic people, and I would like to, um, honestly, I would like to understand why um, people are like this way, like this. But sadly, I've gone to no avail of discovering this. So, again, this isn't a trauma video. It's like my other video. It's the self-help, you know. I've done videos. Again, I've done videos like this on my other streaming service. My other YouTube. Um, so the rundown is that misunderstandings happen, and then arguments flare up, and a toxic person wants to get you to make arguments, because they get off on that. Again, as I said before, um, because that's what they get off of. Um, they love arguments. They love to bring people down, especially to their level. So, the first thing the first thing I would say to deal with, how to deal with people like this, are not to go to their level, um, but to show, but to rather show uh, their error in thinking, you know, um, their logic in thinking. Saying, like if someone says, you know, well, this is mine, why are you using it? Then give it back to them and say, that's fine, I won't use it anymore, or, you know, find solutions that that will help these people, you know, go, yeah, basically make solutions for yourself and make solutions for them that will show them the error of their ways, basically. Um, and if that doesn't work, just plain ignore the people. But and that would be the second solution. However, the ignoring them part really doesn't come into a full effect if and when these people are in your daily life. Now, I'm talking about people in my daily life, not on YouTube, because again, these people that are on YouTube, um, do not affect my daily life, um, and they will never affect my daily life. I'm talking about the trolls and whatnot, you know, which I have many of, many that will hate me for, again, as I said, no reason, maybe for jealousy or, you know, honestly, that's, or that I'm still on YouTube. Um, but I am talking about actual people that you will see in and outside, say your home or the workplace, or because I've had problems with people at my workplace, right? Um, for instance, um, I would say, let me make an example. Um, this one time I was doing a task, right? And this guy was helping me. So I had no idea that he was clocked in, and I was told that to do this task by myself, to leave the heavy objects, I'm throwing away things, leave heavy objects, right, that are too heavy for me, for others, for when, if someone comes along and needs, will assist me. So this guy, um, who I have not dealt with before, but I have seen that he is a hot-headed individual, and most of those people you have to deal with, especially hot-headed individuals, right? Um, they will explode at any moment. So it's like walking on eggshells. It's like walking on a mine with these people. So you have to steer clear of what you might think would set them off. But at this point, you don't know what will set them off. So you're kind of left in this void of, well, what would happen? What will happen if um, I say something and it sets them off? And so I was doing as I was told, and I did not know that this guy was clocking in and clocked in to help me. So he started an argument, so I just walked away. He says some things, um, trying to belittle me, but I just walked away and sought out a member of management. Um, that's another thing to do with toxic people, um, because as I said, there are uh, people like this all around. Um, you know, Another thing that you can do is to walk away from them. Um, Granted, you can't hide from these people because, again, they're everywhere. They're everywhere. So, and from my situation that I've been in, there are toxic people in the workplace. Honestly, wherever you go, and you have to deal with these people. You have to learn to live with these people. Um, to just so you can have a, you know financial financial gain from your job, so you can live your life the way you need. You need money to live your life. Um, so yeah, you know find an easy solution, um, or just ignore them and just walk away. You know, the easiest would be to walk away. Let this person, um, deflate. You know, do not let people like this have a set argument. You know, don't argue with these people because, again, that will give them um, power over you. You know, it will bring them to your, you will bring them um, up, and they will bring you down. You know, they will bring you down to their level. And as I said before, don't be doing that. Don't do that because that will give them an edge on you. Um, so, yeah. And honestly, if walking away is, at this point, you know, um, not an option, the best way is to ignore it. So again, um, different job. I was actually stalking. I was at Walmart for about 3 or 4 years, stalking the dairy department, and I had this guy that was in there with me, who has been there for I don't know how many years, um, who has a major anger problem, who is, a drunk, who is an alcoholic, um, and will actually um, will actually make make an argument out of anything to start an argument, just so an argument can be made. Now, the difference is what I'm talking here is that there's a difference in toxic people. Well, let's say the trolls that I am dealing with are toxic, but they are stupid. I will make fun of their comments because, in all honesty, yes, it's bringing me down to their level. Yes, I could ignore them, but if I ignore them, which I have done before, right, they still come, right? So, again, ignoring them really, you know, doesn't work a lot of the time. As you can see, for example, ITB, who, again, is a toxic individual, um, and wants to keep into my content, wanting to comment on my content, wanting drama, wanting attention, wanting that edge, wanting that um, argument, just so he can stay afloat. And that's what people like this do. They want to make an argument so they can stay afloat because either their life is unhappy or they have a thrill, they want the thrill, or that, for example, their YouTube is getting boring and they need something to spice it up. Um, those last two things deal with ITV and all the other trolls that I've dealt with. But again, let's go back to the situation that I was in. So, um, I guess this would be a kind of story time kind of deal. Um, So anyway, this one time, um, this guy was going off for I forget what reason, and and he said something to me, and I, in anger, had said, "Go, go, suck a dick." I was walking off, and I said, "Go, suck a dick." So I got in trouble for saying that, right? Um, I got angry, and I went to his level. Granted, I do have anger issues, and that is a something for a different video. But um, I went to I basically went down to his level and said these things that just as the go suck a dick, and basically he went to management and told the management on me. He tattletaled to the management, when in fact it's just the same management that kept saying, well, we need to fire this guy. We need to fire not me, but the other guy because he was a liability. He would go off on everyone. He would act like an idiot, a fucking idiot to anyone, right? Um, and again, he's a drunk and a basically a person with anger issues. So during that time, every time we would get in an argument, you know, um, he would apologize, but then go back to the be nice, and he would be nice to me. He would go back to the argument, go get away from the argument and apologize, but then it would go back to the argument every time. Um, you know, and that is a very toxic person, right? He would say, I am sorry, but he would not mean it, right? He would not mean that I am sorry. He would actually go back to the argument again and again and again just because he likes to feed on it, right? That's what toxic people like to do. They want to feed on negativity. The thing that is that you turn that negativity into a positivity, turn that negative into a positive, right? Um, anything that, as I said before in my other video, the only opinions that matter are the friends and family in your real life and your own, right? No one else's opinion matters. No one's opinion, other opinion matters, right? Whether it be a work person, someone you work with, a toxic person that you work with, or someone who is on the internet. And as I said, I have dealt with a lot of toxic people in my life. Sorry about this. Give me a second. Um, Especially in the workplace. Because it would be like I would give up every time because everywhere I would go, there would be toxic people. You know, there everywhere I would go, there would be people that are toxic or you know would would be toxic, and you know for reasons that again I do not know. I wish I knew. But sadly, I'm not a psychologist. Sadly, I don't have a, degree in studying the mind, you know. But if I would, then I would like to have known. I would like to know what um, goes on in people's heads, for people to use people, for people to lie to people, for people to um, basically be toxic, to people. And so let's talk about toxic relationships, right? Whether it be a friendship or whether it be a actual relationship. So um, during the time, well, be, I would say yes. During that time of me working at Walmart, I was in a relationship um, with a girl um, who actually was not from uh, where I live. She was actually in California during that time. So during that time, uh, this person would, we would chit chat, we would do all these things, but then we would have arguments, right? Um, we would have arguments, and since those arguments that, you know, uh, as any relationship would have, you know, if you are in a relationship, whether it be, strictly, um, you know, boy and girl, boy and boy, and girl, doesn't matter. Um, there will be arguments. So it's come to find out that, you know, this person I felt was was being toxic, when in fact she was actually uh, bipolar. And so I had to get rid of her because I didn't understand during that time. I could not handle um, someone who was like that, you know. Um, Now that is not a toxic relationship. That was not a toxic relationship. That was someone who had bipolar disorder, and I could not handle this person. So I decided to basically just cut her off and not talk to her again. Um, which to this day, I actually do feel bad about. Um, to this day, uh, I feel like that was the only person that truly understood, you know, me for being me. Um, and we had same just same likes, whatever. We like the same things, you know, what have you. But I couldn't handle, someone who had bipolar disorder. So I just was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna cut this person off. That's not being that's not me being in a toxic relationship. Now the girl before that, um, she was in California again, the same place, uh, the same state, not the same place, not the same location, but the same state as um, this other girl. This my second, well, my I would say hmm, my third girlfriend actually. This one, this one um, was basically my second. The first one was this guy set me up with this girl, but it didn't last really that long. For whatever reason, I think it was because um, she was basically so shy and couldn't handle being in a relationship. But as for the second one, now this is someone. Now this was me in a toxic relationship. This was my first ever toxic relationship that I was in. So first off, it started out fine. Again, we had the same likes. Same music tastes. Um, we'd listen to the same music. We would talk on the phone, and she would play music um, while we talked, and she would sing. Um, she had a great singing voice, honestly. Um, she would have friends on the line, and they would talk, and we would conversate together. But then it turned out like maybe I would say this was a month or so um, more. I would say I think we were in a relationship for a pretty good while, but then it just turned into, I would be doing stuff outside. I would be helping my my grandfather outside, who during that time was working at uh, our friend's farm, which was way from not way away from our house, but kind of away from our house. Um, and so she would call, and then I would come back, and you you know, my grandmother would be like, "Well, so and so called. She said, I said that you were, outside working, and sorry about that." And I would be like, okay, this was, the first time this happened. Uh, it was no big deal. It didn't really matter to me. But then it would happen again. And I was like, okay, uh, still, okay. Uh, I guess she misses me. She likes to talk to me a lot. She did during that time like to talk a lot. Um, then it would happen again and again and again, and then it would just be like, it would be like every time, like she would be impatient, and it was all this like, you have to talk to me, thing. Well, how long are you gonna be gone? And I would say, I have no idea. And then she would, call back and call back and call back. I'd be like, um, you know, they would say, well, I'm not here. I'm not here. Uh, and every time I would get back, this she would call, you know, and then that was one of the things that led me to believe that, well, this relationship is not, something that I need to be in. you know um, the second thing was that, so one day we would be in a conversation, um, me and this girl, and then she would add her friend there, you know um, and I would talk to both of them, but then I would have a conversation with her friend, for a little bit, and then she would be jealous, and then she'd get all depressed and sad, and I would say, "What's wrong?" And she would say, "Well, you're not listening. You're not talking to me. You would rather talk to my friend." And then an argument started. So, I told her we're through, and then she called back and wanted to apologize, and I was like, "No, uh, I had enough, and whatnot." And she yelled at me. She would yell, uh, say all these things, and I would have no speaker, and you know, for everyone to hear. And the last thing I said was, um, I believe it was, "You're on speaker." Um, it's like, I don't want anything to do with you. She said, and then she would say, "Fine," and she said, "Fine," and that was the end of it. That was the end of that relationship, and it was like a weight was lifted off of my shoulder, off of my chest. You know, it was just, I could breathe again. You know, um, and I haven't thought about it. I didn't think about it until her friend had sent me a email about how she died in a car wreck or something, and to this day, I have no idea if it was a ruse or not, because, her friend, it was weird. Like, her friend liked me as well, you know. Of course, I have no idea if, that was the same girl, because it might have been, that's what I'm saying, toxic people will go to those lengths, to try and mess with people. But to this day, do I think she died? I don't know. Um, but I would make jokes about that, you know. But that was then, you know. Only because I assumed, and I still think that they were the same person. So, yeah, that is. Well, I wouldn't really make jokes about that. I would just be like, well, I had a girlfriend, but she's dead now. That's technically not a joke. So it really isn't. But you know, that was my first toxic relationship, and during that time, I've had many relationships that have ended like that. Currently, someone who would I thought I have a new suggestion on Facebook. I wish people would, stop sending me random friend requests, especially from fake people. But anyway, as I said, um, give me a second. The most recent one was, again, um, someone lied, so would lie to me, and to my face. And it's not that, I would find out about it. It was, well, he lied. Hold on. Sorry. That's the puppies right now. Um, But yeah, he lied to my face and had other people, you know, and other people have lied to my face that I thought were friends that were in the same group as this person, Brandon, uh, or CTV, if you want to call him that. Um, which again, I have been in lots of toxic relationships, whether it be friends or, family um, or, girlfriends or whatnot. Um, Especially recently with the whole Ryan stuff, you know. Um, and I just found out that he was lying to me, and from and that was from his own mouth. He gave that away himself. All people that want to lie to you to your face are not actual friends. They are toxic individuals. And as I said, to do another thing you could do to get rid of people like that is what I have been doing, and that is honestly try and get rid of as much people, as many toxic people, um, on the internet, mainly on the internet, because you can't do that in real life. You can do that on the internet. By blocking people, by unsubscribing to people. Well, unsubscribing and blocking people, but yeah, get rid of those toxic people because honestly, they will just bring you down. You know, um, they're not true friends. They're not, people that you would like to hang out with. Now, in my experience, um, you can get rid of toxic friends, but you cannot get rid of toxic family members. That is honestly, the one exception of this rule. And try as you might, you know, you can try and ignore toxic family members all you can, but at the end of the day, it's really not going to get you anywhere. You know, um, they still, you still have to be with them. They're still, let's say, living at your house, or they're still part of your family. You know, all you have to do is just, you know, try and just hopefully give them time because, you know, that's all you can do, you know. And with that time, hopefully they will um, see that their behavior is basically giving out negativity, you know, not positivity. And so that's what you have to do, you know, just give them time. And yes, it's a very slow process, but and yes, might be fights during this this time of judgment, you know. Um, but I mean, to be honest, you know, it is what it is. You know, just give this person all the time that he or she needs. You know, maybe he will grow, he or she will grow. Maybe this person won't be toxic for long. But if in fact um, you know, uh, they're still toxic. Well, you know, there's nothing you honestly can do about it. You know, you can try and go your merry way, but in all honesty, that person will still be there. Hopefully this helps, anyone that reads that can hears this, you know, can be helped by this. And I've basically given some examples from my life. I opened myself up to people, and hopefully this helps people, and you know, people. Hopefully, you guys take away take stuff from this. You know, hopefully you take away a lot away from what I've been speaking on for the past 41 minutes. Um, I really didn't want to make this. Well, I kind of needed to make this, honestly. Um, I didn't saying I didn't want to make this a lie. I kind of really wanted to because of what recently happened, um, which um, honestly, it's just, you know, conversation starts and, you know, toxic people want to be toxic people. And again, um, this is not about the internet. This is honestly about real life people, that were toxic and are toxic, that I have had to run in from the past and present, just now. Um, so yeah. Um, as I said before, hope everyone has a good Friday, and I'll see you guys on the next one. And again, hopefully, this basically helped a lot of people understand, and uh, hopefully, shed some light on what to do with people like this. You know, in closing, another thing you can do is surround yourself with positive people. Surround yourself with people that um, give off positivity, that will help you deal with negativity and toxic people, which I do have. Um, Abraxas, uh, Joker, uh, Froggy, and all the others. Blowhole and everyone else. I and Laura, AJOT. Um, I could keep going. Big Chuck. Chris. Um, Canadian Witch. All these people. Go get a bear. No, I can keep going. But surround yourself with people that are not toxic, whether it be in your life, whether it be outside the internet or inside the internet. It doesn't matter. But just remember at the end of the day that toxic people on the internet has nothing to do with your regular life. Now, the people that are outside the internet that are toxic, see, those are the people that you have to deal with, and it's basically harder to live with, harder to um, deal with. And of course, there's the moments where, say, people from the internet want to be in your life, and they become, instead of toxic people, they're not actually grow to be toxic people um, in real life, you know. And that's, you know, again, just follow what I said here about, you know, if that happens, just follow what I said here about how to deal with toxic people in your real life. You know, live your own life, and don't let people get you down, because I know I don't anymore. You know, um, and again, I hope everyone has a good Friday, and I hope everyone can basically get understanding of what I said. So, and I hope this helps people. So, I'll see you guys later. Have a good Friday, and see you on the next one. Farewell.